Well, environmentalists and leftists are in an uproar over President Trump's recent tweet about global warming. The president said, and this is a quote, "In the East, it could be the coldest New Year's Eve on record. Perhaps we could use a little bit of that good old global warming that our country, but not other countries, was going to pay trillions of dollars to protect against it. Bundle up." My next guest says the Paris Climate Agreement is indeed a waste of money because what it promises will only reduce temperatures by just about 0.08 degrees Fahrenheit by the year 2100. Joining us now is author of The Skeptical Environmentalist and the former director of the Danish government's Environmental Assessment Institute in Copenhagen, Bjorn Lomborg. And we should point out that you can be an environmentalist, someone like you, sir, and have disagreement over what's happening with global warming, climate change, and the appropriate way to react to that, correct?
Exactly. So, Adam, look, the fundamental point here is there is a problem with global warming, but the Paris Agreement, unfortunately, is an incredibly expensive way to do almost no good to tackle global warming. So in that sense, yes, wasting trillions of dollars to achieve almost nothing is not a very good strategy. Yeah, well, the president actually said trillions of dollars wasted on trying to reverse climate change. There's a video that you did, and I saw it maybe 2 years ago, on Prager University, in which you explain a lot of people believe electric cars are the way to go to help. If you really do believe that we have to do something on carbon emissions, you should go to electric cars. But you very, very easily point out, yes, but then generating all the electricity to do that may not be in the best interests of our children and grandchildren. Do we get lost in the moment of doing what we think might be best and actually do what might actually be more harmful? There's a lot of feel-good in the whole climate conversation, and the electric cars is a great example. Actually, the International Energy Agency just came out, not very publicized, and told us if we pretty much got everyone on electric cars, it would still just reduce what we need to reduce carbon emissions by about 1%. So yes, electric cars are probably going to be great sometime, and I love driving in one when I can get away with it, but it's an incredibly expensive way, again, of achieving very little of what we need to do in order to tackle global warming. So let's stop wasting trillions of dollars and focus instead on spending less money, much more smartly, into investment in green energy R&D. Because look, if we can make future green energy much cheaper, we'll actually generate both huge benefits for the economy and fix global warming. Well, let me ask you this. What could someone like me, an individual, one of 326 million Americans, or someone in Europe do? Because you're an environmentalist. I care about the environmental. I want to do whatever I can do that would be appropriate. What can we do you think, that would have an impact on not only pollution, if possible, on climate change? So, look, unfortunately, there's no simple answers to this. If you want to care about pollution, the vast and huge problem in the world is air pollution. So it's indoor air pollution in the developing world, and it's outdoor air pollution in the rich world. For most of this world, it's about getting people out of poverty. Poverty is incredibly polluting. But you ask, what can you do? And the simple answer is help politicians focus on the smart strategies for climate change. That is investment in green energy R&D, but stop them from wasting trillions of dollars. They'll do almost no good. It doesn't give us that warm, fuzzy feel, but it's actually the way that we can both spend our resources effectively and help the environment. You actually said that the media, and that's me, that's my peers, that we were quick to blame hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria on climate change. I remember when Sandy hit New York City, immediately the governor here talked about the flooding which took place, forgetting that this hurricane hit, Sandy, at high tide on a full moon, which contributed to the flooding in our area. But in reality, climate change, is it making our weather, as we've been told it would, more extreme and worse, or is there something else going on? Well, it's actually a very complicated answer, and the UN climate panel tells us very clearly, look, right now we can't actually show that there is a connection between global warming and hurricanes, but in the long run, there'll probably be slightly fewer hurricanes, but slightly stronger. So yes, there is a connection, but by far the biggest issue when it comes to hurricanes is getting people better resilience, making sure that you have better levees, that you have better infrastructure, as we saw in Harvey, that you have better flood control. There are many, many other things that would do much more and help many more people much more effectively. So in some ways, the whole climate conversation is a detraction from, if you really want to help people, from Hurricane Sandy and all the other things. It's about adaptation, very simply. We still need to fix global warming, but we shouldn't use bad science to argue for why we should do that. We should use good science and say, let's do the smart policies. They're not the most warm and fuzzy ones, but they are actually the ones that'll work.
And as you pointed out, one of the smartest things we could do is help people move out of poverty, because poverty, as you said, is in some ways a great polluter. I know that what I can do personally is talk less because of all the hot air, I admit, and just listen more. Bjorn, listen, have a happy and healthy New Year. Thank you for joining us.